Make sure you gotta get this man raised me in the game right here. You gotta get this man on camera real quick. Yeah, get the legendary Bun B on camera. My dog right here. Raised me up I'm a little puppy dog.
Drake just took another brutal hit, this time from the very man he once called his protector. J. Prince, the same figure who used to be Drake's armor in Houston, is now stepping back, and the streets can't stop buzzing about it. For years, Drake flexed like he was untouchable, bragging that J. Prince had his back no matter what. But now, with Kendrick Lamar dragging him deeper into the fire, the unthinkable might be happening. J. Prince is leaving Drake out to dry. The whispers are loud. J. Prince don't want nothing to do with Drake no more. That's insane when you think about how hard Jay once went for him. This is the same man who cooled off the whole Kanye mess, shut down NBA YoungBoy when he threw shade, and even cleaned up the drama after Diddy slapped Drake years back. J. Prince wasn't just a supporter, he was a shield, a behind-the-scenes power broker keeping Drake safe from the wolves circling the game. But here's the shocking twist. While Drake's war with Kendrick is ripping hip-hop apart, J. Prince has been stone silent. No statements, no threats, no chest moves, just absolute silence. And that silence is screaming louder than words. Because if J. Prince was still in Drake's corner, there's no way he'd sit back and watch his golden boy get dragged across the internet like this. So what went down? Why the sudden betrayal? Street Talk says it comes down to two explosive options, and neither one is clean. Some insiders claim Drake might have double-crossed J. Prince behind the scenes. Others whisper Jay is staying quiet because Kendrick might be holding some dangerous receipts. Evidence so heavy, even J. Prince doesn't want smoke with it. Receipts are rumored to exist that could explode into something way bigger than Drake's reputation. And that's where things get real dark. Word on the Houston streets is that J. Prince might be keeping quiet because he's got skeletons of his own. People whisper about shady deals, strange money moves, and transactions so sketchy nobody dares say them on record. Some even point fingers at places like Area 29, alleging shady business went down there involving J. Prince's camp and Drake's OVO crew. And if those whispers have even a drop of truth, then Drake versus Kendrick might just be the tip of the iceberg. This feud could be covering up a storm way more dangerous than rap beef. Don't forget, J. Prince has never really shaken that dark cloud hanging over his name since 2022, when the streets started linking his circle to the tragic death of Migos rapper Takeoff. When Kendrick dropped his brutal track Euphoria, fans swore he slipped in a coded warning, like he was hinting at the real truth of what went down that night in Houston. Social media exploded with theories, with people convinced those bars were aimed directly at J. Prince and Drake. The timing, the tone, the subliminals, it was too sharp to ignore. Now let's be clear, these are still rumors, speculation, and straight street buzz flying online. But the million-dollar question still hangs heavy. Did J. Prince really cut Drake off? And why has he gone completely ghost when he used to step in and squash every single beef Drake ever faced? That silence isn't just suspicious. It's shaking the whole culture, and the streets want answers. Let's rewind for the people who don't know the full backstory. Because J. Prince ain't just some random exec who popped up out of nowhere. His legacy runs deep in Houston. Back in the 1980s, J. Prince was already moving heavy, rolling with a crew that basically had the city on lock. But as the heat around him got hotter, he made a smart pivot. He flipped his whole script and stepped into the music game. In 1987, he founded Rap-A-Lot Records, a label that would forever change Southern hip-hop. This was the same label that unleashed the legendary Ghetto Boys, Scarface, Willie D, and Bushwick Bill, dropping classics like Mind Playing Tricks on Me that still echo through the culture today. And Rap-A-Lot didn't stop there. It also helped put Devin the Dude, Do or Die, and plenty more on the map. J. Prince's influence stamped itself into the very foundation of Southern rap, earning him that Godfather status in Texas. His bond with UGK's Pimp C and Bun B was legendary. So legendary that his reach stretched straight into Drake's music years later. Drake never missed a chance to name drop those icons, and that wasn't just for clout. It was because the bond with J. Prince's world ran that deep. But here's the twist. Now with J. Prince's silence echoing louder than any statement, The streets are asking, has that bond finally cracked? Drake and Bun B's connection alone tells you how far back this story runs. Ever since Bun B jumped on So Far Gone in 2009, Drake never stopped showing him love. Bun B was one of the first Southern legends to stamp Drake as official, and Drake made sure to keep his name alive in the music ever since. But here's the real twist. Behind all those legendary connections, the true chess master was always J. Prince. For decades, he wasn't just respected, he was feared. Some call him the ultimate OG, while others say his empire was built with muscle, intimidation, and heavy-handed tactics. Love him or hate him, power followed J. Prince everywhere he went, and everybody in the game knew it. Fast forward to 2006, the year the rap world shifted forever. Jay's son, Jazz Prince, was scrolling through MySpace when he stumbled across a young Canadian rapper with a sound unlike anything out there. That kid? None other than Drake. Jazz instantly knew this wasn't just another rapper spamming his music online. This was a superstar in the making. Without hesitation, Jazz plugged Drake straight to his father, J. Prince, and then linked him to Lil Wayne. At first, neither Jay nor Wayne were convinced. They didn't see the vision, but Jazz wouldn't let go of the idea. He even laced Drake with exclusive Wayne beats, daring him to prove himself. And little by little, the tide started to turn. Wayne finally caved, realizing the kid had it. From there, the story shot off like a rocket. Drake himself even rapped about it on Look What You've Done. Then Wayne calls up. My phone conversation wasn't that long. He gets me a flight to Houston in the morning. Oh, it's my time. Yeah, it's on That Was the Spark. By 2007, J. Prince made it official, locking Drake into his company, Rap-A-Lot Spy Music Group, and the foundation for history was set. That first deal, tied to Jazz Prince and Lil Wayne's manager, Cortez Bryant, was the golden ticket. It opened the door straight into Young Money, and from there, the rest became rap history. To this day, many argue that without the Princes, there would be no Drake as we know him. That early cosign is the reason Drake forever treated Houston like his second home. Toronto raised him, but Houston crowned him, and he never forgot it. But the loyalty wasn't one-sided. For years, J. Prince made sure his golden boy was protected.
The beef between Drake and Pusha. I guess you could.
Whenever Drake's rap battles started spinning out of control, Jay was the one who pulled the emergency brake. If Prince said enough, Drake stood down, not because he was scared, but because he respected the man who gave him the keys to the kingdom. The perfect example? 2018. When Drake's war with Pusha T hit boiling point, it was J. Prince who stepped in and shut it down cold. He warned the feud could spiral into something much bigger, something dangerous, and just like that, Drake dropped his weapons. That's how much weight Jay's word carried. One phone call from him could stop a storm in its tracks. Fast forward to 2021, and once again, J. Prince played the fixer role, this time in the middle of Drake and Kanye's chaos. When their beef was peaking, Jay stepped in and pulled them together for the Larry Hoover benefit concert, trying to flip beef into brotherhood. He even bragged about the moment online, saying he met Kanye at Houston's Rothko Chapel, and didn't let the fact it was a sacred space stop him from handling business. That's the level of pull J. Prince had. Religion, rivalry, or rap, nothing stood in his way. And who could forget that bizarre moment when Kanye sat stiff, reading off a hostage-style script, with J. Prince standing beside him like a mob boss making sure the mission got done? The clip was surreal. Kanye monotone, eyes locked on the paper, while Jay stood right next to him like a don overseeing the entire deal. Kanye read, "This is Ye and J. Prince. I'm making this video to address the ongoing back and forth between myself and Drake. Both me and Drake have taken shots at each other, and it's time to put it to rest. I'm asking Drake on December 7th to join me on stage in LA for the Larry Hoover event. I believe this concert will show the world how much more we can accomplish when we put pride aside for one night." It looked like a peace treaty had been signed, like J. Prince had managed to end a beef that even Pusha T couldn't squash. For a moment, people thought maybe peace in hip-hop was actually possible. but everybody deep down knew it was temporary. And sure enough, the truce collapsed. By 2022, Drake was making it clear on Circo Loco, off his joint album with 21 Savage. He rapped, "Linking with the ops, I did that for Jay Prince." Translation: squashing things wasn't his idea. It was Prince pulling the strings, forcing him into a truce he never wanted. That bar told the world everything. Drake wasn't moving freely. Jay Prince was the puppet master. And now, in 2025, the irony is insane. Kanye, the same man Jay forced into that awkward video, has flipped sides completely. He's jumped into the chaos, siding with Kendrick and Future by hopping on the Like That remix, the very track that set the whole industry on fire. So if Jay Prince was once Drake's lifeline, the burning question is, why isn't he stepping in to save him now? Jump back to May 2023, and once again, Jay Prince was busy cleaning up Drake's mess. This time, the smoke came from NBA YoungBoy, who had just unleashed shots on Richest Op. YoungBoy accused Drake of siding with Lil Durk and refusing to work with him on Fetch of the Industry Part 2. He didn't hold back either. YoungBoy even claimed on FaceTime, "He wasn't feeling me. Told me Fetch you straight up." That raw, unfiltered energy made it clear. Drake wasn't rocking with YoungBoy, and in YoungBoy's eyes, that made him the enemy. That beef could have gone nuclear fast, but once again, Jay Prince slid in as the peacemaker. He popped up in a photo with YoungBoy and Birdman, putting himself right in the middle of the storm. Then, he penned a father-like message straight to YoungBoy. "As I said to you privately, I say to you publicly, Drake is my son. He rolls with me. Therefore, I think it's a good idea to take him off your enemy list." Prince reminded YoungBoy that the FaceTime call he had set up between him and Drake was meant to build bridges, not burn them. And then, in true Jay Prince fashion, he dropped one of his trademark motivational gems. "Two things we get every day is a chance and a choice. The choices we make determine our destination." That's how far Jay Prince was willing to go, publicly defending Drake like family, making sure no one dared put hands on him in the streets. For years, it felt like Drake was untouchable as long as Prince stood guard. Nobody could touch the OVO king, not when Houston's Godfather was backing him like that. But here's where the cracks started to show. The whispers say everything shifted after the tragic death of Takeoff in Houston back in November 2022. That night didn't just shake the music industry, it supposedly shattered the bond between Drake and the Princes. Streets started buzzing that Jazz Prince, Jay's own son, was the one responsible for looking after Migos while they were in Houston. Ever since that tragedy, the rumors haven't stopped swirling. Was it really just a random accident, or was something darker hiding behind it? Remember, Drake had deep history with Migos, from chart-topping collabs to the Aubrey and the Three Migos tour in 2018. Fans expected him to speak up when the tragedy hit, but instead, Drake stayed silent. Not a word, not a bar, not even a tribute that matched his past ties. Quiet as a mouse, like he wanted no part of the conversation. And that silence only made the streets talk louder. Then Kendrick stepped in and lit the fuse with Euphoria. On that track, he spit, "His daddy killed, he wanna be Junior. They must have forgot the says that they done. Dementia must run in his family, but let it get shaky. I'll park his son." At first, fans argued, was Kendrick clowning Drake's real dad, Dennis? Was he throwing shade at Birdman? Nobody could agree. But now, the latest theory is hitting different. People believe Kendrick was aiming straight at Jay Prince's own son, Jazz Prince. His name started floating heavy in the whispers, tied to speculation about Takeoff's death. And suddenly, those subliminals sounded like warning shots. Shots aimed directly at the Prince family itself. Basically, Kendrick's message was clear as day. Back off this war or I'll lay out everything. And the wildest part? It looks like Jay Prince got the memo because ever since then, he's gone completely ghost. No statements, no defense, no slick interviews, nothing. This is the same man who used to dive into every one of Drake's battles without hesitation. Pusha T, Kanye, NBA YoungBoy, you name it. Jay was always there shielding Drake from the fire, but now, nothing but silence. Reporters tried pressing Jay Prince about Kendrick's viral Not Like Us, and he dodged like a pro. awkward smiles, quick exits, not a single ounce of energy. Meanwhile, his son Jay Prince Jr. tried stepping up with a rambling response that sounded more confused than confident. Fans dragged him instantly, calling him lost and way out of his depth, like he was fumbling the ball his father used to carry with ease. So now the big question is echoing everywhere. Where's the energy Jay Prince used to have? This is the biggest war of Drake's career, and the one man who always stood tall behind him has disappeared from the picture. Some fans swear Kendrick made it crystal clear in his bars, "Don't let it get shaky, I'll park your son." That line alone had Jay Prince stepping back like he wanted no smoke. And just like that, he vanished, leaving Drake stranded in the middle of the storm. The fallout has been insane. Social media is on fire with takes, with one fan tweeting, "If Jay Prince won't ride for Drake, that tells me Kendrick cut deeper than we know." Another added, "Drake without Jay? That's like a soldier without armor. The culture's never seen Drake this exposed before." Jay Prince looks vulnerable for the very first time, and the timing couldn't be worse. Kendrick hasn't just dominated the charts with Euphoria and Not Like Us. He's taken over the entire culture. Every rapper, every influencer, even athletes are quoting his bars and clowning Drake. And without Jay Prince running interference like before, Drake looks like prey surrounded by wolves, with no shield left to protect him. Fans are now dissecting Drake's IG posts like they're hidden codes. That cryptic line, "Sometimes the people who build you are the same ones who tear you down," had people convinced he was firing shots straight at Prince. Whether that's true or not, the speculation is making everything messier. Insiders are whispering too. Some claim Jay Prince's silence is strategic, that Kendrick's hints about Jazz Prince and Takeoff were simply too dangerous to touch. Others insist Jay just doesn't want any more smoke tied to Drake because the whole situation feels toxic. Either way, the message is loud and clear. The bond between Drake and Jay Prince is no longer what it used to be. And without his shadow protector, Drake suddenly looks wide open to attack. The real question now, did Jay Prince abandon Drake out of fear of what Kendrick might expose? Or is there a bigger chess move happening behind the curtain that none of us can see yet? Because one thing is certain, Kendrick has never looked stronger, and Drake has never looked this vulnerable. What do you think? Did Jay Prince really cut ties? Or is he waiting to strike later? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. See you on the next one.